we were out to eat at a Mexican restaurant. And I was with some of my friends who had no children. And of course, being a first-time mom, for some reason, I did not have an extra outfit, and I had nursed him. And when you nurse your children, their poop is like water. Oh. And he blew out a diaper. And I mean, it went up his back. It's like those blowouts that you see like on the Instagram memes. So we go into the bathroom, and of course, there's no changing table. So I'm like, Rude. What do I do? Lay this kid on the floor? I can't put him on the toilet. So I'm in the bathroom trying to take clothes off of him, not get poop on me. He's screaming. I'm holding him like a wet child, just upside down, like wiping him with the wipe. And it was just so crazy. And I came back out. He was in a diaper, and he had a sweater as a jacket that day and a sweater. And that was it, because we didn't have any extra clothes. And I was like, yeah, we're just going to thug out the rest of this dinner and go home.
Welcome to another episode of Big Lash Energy. I am so excited to have two very special guests in the studio today. We're in Atlanta, and of course, we had to find the queen of Atlanta. The queen of Atlanta social media and all things fabulous, Miss Tiffany La'Ryn. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me. I am super excited.
Yay! And we have another special guest, my sister, Karlee. And hi, Karlee.
Hey.
Now, the reason why I brought both of you ladies here today, thank you for joining me, by the way, is because we're celebrating moms now, right? We're getting to the time of year, Mother's Day is around the corner. And honestly, as a mom of two French bulldogs, I don't even like to call myself a dog mom because I think it's super disrespectful to actual moms. Moms are very underrepresented on Big Lash Energy, you know? And so I thought, what a better opportunity to have both of you ladies here, because I know enough about each of you to know that you're both very different styles of moms. And I don't think there's a wrong kind of a mom, but you're just very different styles, right? Mm-hmm. So I knew, Tiffany, that I knew that we would relate to each other when I saw a video that you posted on your Instagram where you were like, if you are thinking about having kids, don't. Because Tiffany has 5 bambinos, 5 kids.
Yes, 5 boys.
Yes, and you have turned your entourage of 5 boys into an internet sensation.
Yes, I have.
She has, and she's like, no cap, it's facts, right?
Yes, we go really well on YouTube. So if you guys are interested in checking us out, make sure you check us out.
Of course,
on
they're
YouTube.
gonna. Of course. We'll get all the, we'll put all the links in the bio and all those sorts of things for sure. And Karlee, so Tiffany, I feel like you make it through life having a good sense of humor about everything, right? Like, how do you approach being a mom?
I approach being a mom with a very humorous way of going about doing it, because those kids really stress me out. I mean, like, they are putting like 10 years onto my life that I didn't ask for. And because of that, instead of being so stressed every day, I choose peace, and my peace comes with lots of jokes and laughing.
You just laugh it off. You're laughing through the tears.
I have to. It's like, if I don't laugh, I'm going to go crazy. So I might as well just laugh.
I love that. And Karlee, you are the mom who would never be caught dead saying don't have kids. Karlee is helicopter mom extraordinaire. And tell us your theory of being a mom. Like, how do you feel about being a mom?
Oh, I don't know if I have a theory, but it's definitely like gentle
your approach.
Yeah, no, it's literally everything I ever wanted. So anything else in life kind of comes second. So any minute with my kids is a minute I cherish, and it's kind of everything I ever wanted. So I love it. I don't know.
I just threw up in my mouth, but that's really sweet. I'm so happy for you. No, Karlee. So the thing about Karlee is, before she was even ever pregnant, okay, like, when you asked her, what do you want to be when you grew up? She was like, a mom. And before she was ever pregnant, she had a box in her bedroom that she would buy baby clothes that she found on sale, or clothes that she made by hand that she kept in a box. So whenever she were to have said baby, she was already ready.
Gotta stay ready for you.
Right,
so
stay ready. And then Tiffany, I guess I just have to say to you, congrats on being good at the sex.
Because that's what I hear.
I love it. And so when you're creating all this content with your family and everything like that, do you have any of the kids ever not want to do it?
No. So
They're not allowed. You're like, these karate lessons aren't going to pay for themselves.
Line up. No, really though, they were super excited because I did ask them. And I was like, hey, you guys, mommy already does YouTube and you guys see me film. Would you be interested? And they was like, yeah. Because, kids, all they watch now is YouTube.
Yeah.
Like, TV is like a thing of the past. It's almost like an artifact, like the phone.
Yeah, facts.
So they were like, of course we want to do it. And then we started doing it and they really enjoyed it. And they're already very comical within like themselves. Like everybody has like a certain personality to them. So it just like really meshed well. And I think our audience enjoys it also because everybody does have a different personality. So everybody has somebody they can relate to out the kids, which I do like. And they now come to me with like script ideas.
I love that.
Like we just recently shot a ninja series, and shout out to my middle son, Karlee. He came up with the whole concept of it and what he wanted to do. So we brought it to life. So now they're all like, I want to do this series next, and I want to do this. They
realized they had production.
Yes.
Now they're all producers.
Yes. So they line up now and give me, and then like sometimes I'll catch them, they'll write comics, and then they'll like write stories in their comics. They'll be like, Mom, hey, you got to check this out because like maybe we could shoot this. And I'm like, yeah, of course.
I love that. Actually, we were in your home and I had the opportunity of seeing all these beautiful humans. And I was like, no wonder she has so many kids. She's so good at making them. You have the perfect recipe, it seems.
Thank you.
But that being said, if you could, is there one you would give back?
Depends on what day of the week it is. No, I love all of them equally. It's amazing. It really is a journey being a mom. It's crazy because you say when your sister was, before she's with child, she was just like, imagine herself being this mom. And it was crazy. When I was younger, I was the only child in my house. So I'm my mom's only child. And I was always like, I was like anti-kid. Like, don't bring your kid to her to babysit. I was not the babysitter. I was not nothing. So when I ended up having all these kids, everybody was like, whoa.
Wait, stop. When you ended up having all these kids, like you tripped and fell. You tripped and fell and they landed in your vagina? Like, how does that happen?
Exactly what happened.
Okay.
So when they ended up all just coming next to me, I was like, you guys
here we
belong
are.
to me. Let's go.
I love that. But you just handle it with so much grace. And I do think that, the laughter is I mean, that's how I handle all my stresses.
Yeah.
Like if I can laugh at it, then, for sure. That's amazing. That's beautiful. Karlee, who's your favorite?
I just need to note, of your 5 kids, like your oldest is 11?
The oldest is 11.
Like that is a lot of kids in a small range.
It's 11,
it's like
10, 8 and 6, and then a 1-year-old.
So like, are you done?
I think I'm done.
She's like, I've run out of names.
That part. So so I had my kids a little bit when I was younger, like the first round, of course, because this one is 1.
Yeah.
Pregnancy was different then. It was smooth. When you get up there at age, you be like, oh, my back. It still hurt my ankle, your finger. You're like, I didn't even know that part of your finger could hurt. Like you're tired. And I always wanted a girl. Maybe that's why I'm 5 boys in.
Right. Just keep trying.
I mean, that's what everybody keeps saying. But I'm like, I'm going to have to pray about it because, baby, it has not been working yet.
Right.
So
maybe that's just God's way of making sure that you just keep having more because it's like, keep trying.
God, don't do me like that.
So I want to ask both of you ladies, what was the biggest surprise? I'm sure there's nonstop surprises, but if you had to say the biggest surprise that came with being a mom, what would that be? I know it's a tough one. The most unexpected thing about being a mom?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Or is it just all unexpected?
No, I think it's just that you adapt. Like all these things you don't know that you could do. And then you get to that next phase and you think like you never master it. So you're always changing and you're always growing and it's always new and you're never good at it. And you're always just you're always just like taking a shot in the dark. Like, I hope this is the right path. I guess we'll find out when
I hope this isn't the thing that puts her on a stripper pole.
Yeah, right. And then you always think like, maybe the next stage will be easier, but I never want to get to that next stage because you're trying to enjoy this stage, right? You're like, maybe when they're walking or maybe when they're potty trained, maybe when they're in school, but it never stops. Yeah, there's always that next stage that you're always just kind of teetering on that you're not sure at all how to handle because you're just finally getting a grasp of the stage that you're on.
Yeah, I always say like kids don't come with a manual, right? Like, so for example, Karlee and I both raised by the same mom and dad. we both have very different impressions of the way we were raised, but that's only because we're different people with different needs. And then you're sitting here as a mom, just be like, I'm just doing my best, but you don't know that your best is the best for each of your individual kids. To me, it's all overwhelming, and that's why I'm just going to stick to French bulldogs. Like, I can't.
I think that the biggest thing for me was just the growth, meaning like you continuously are growing as a person, but then you have a person that's kind of growing with you.
Right.
So as you go through those different phases, like she said, your advice will be different because now you've lived a little. Like what I'm going to tell my now 1-year-old when he's 10 is going to be different than what I told my 10-year-old now because I'm going to be 10 years wiser.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like
beautiful.
you're always growing. And like she said, you're doing things you didn't think that you were possible of doing. You are responsible for somebody's livelihood and just making them emotionally balanced and just basically making them fit for society, which is a big responsibility.
Too much pressure.
It's a lot of pressure because then when you have them, you start thinking about everything that you're doing. Like you're thinking about your appearance, you're thinking about your education, you're thinking about the way you talk, your job. You start thinking like, how are these things going to affect this child that I have?
Right.
And then like you said, when you have more than one, you have different personalities. None of my kids are the same. So you have to cater to your children whatever meets their needs. Like I have one, he's a wild card. I don't know what he's going to do at any given time. Then I have one that cries over everything. And I know that. So I'm a little softer with him. So it's like you have to just know your kids and kind of cater to that. So like she said, you're constantly always evolving and doing something different and figuring it out. And then as soon as you master that phase, they do something else and now you're on to something new.
What is the messiest moment you've ever had as a mom? I already know there's some messy moments. Karlee, I remember we were in a Whole Foods one time. And
that's like physically messy.
Yeah, messy. What's the messiest moment?
I don't know. That's definitely not the messiest moment as a mom.
Wasn't it? Okay, so because anybody listening doesn't know, we were in Whole Foods one time and I was trying to feed her son dried mango. And he just with no teeth. So he couldn't, because I'm an auntie. You know, what the hell do I know? I'm giving this baby with no teeth dried mango that is
full hard leather of mango.
So he chokes on it, this is why I stick to dogs. He choked on it and just vomited mango all over me, in my purse, everywhere, all over the lineup at Whole Foods. And Karlee was like, "Why'd you give him the dried mango?" I'm like, I don't know. Wasn't cut up for this. He's strictly breastfed.
Oh, baby.
Tiffany, I know you have a messy moment.
I do have a messy moment. So when I have my first, of course, that's always your test dummy child. Shout out to the first kid.
Hey, I was the first.
Because you're going to go through it the worst.
Yep.
We were out to eat at a Mexican restaurant. I was with some of my friends who had no children. And of course, being a first-time mom, for some reason, I did not have an extra outfit, and I had nursed him. And when you nurse your children, their poop is like water. And he blew out a diaper. And I mean, it went up his back. It's like those blowouts that you see like on the Instagram memes. So we go into the bathroom, and of course, there's no changing table. So I'm like, What do I do? Lay this kid on the floor? I can't put him on the toilet. So I'm in the bathroom trying to take clothes off of him, not get poop on me. He's screaming. I'm holding him like a wet child, just upside down, like wiping him with the wipe. And it was just so crazy. And I came back out. He was in a diaper, and he had a sweater as a jacket that day and a sweater. And that was it, because we didn't have any extra clothes. And I was like, yeah, we're just going to thug out the rest of this dinner and go home.
Sometimes it's got to be like that, right?
Sometimes it's like that.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. I remember one time we were out walking around Vancouver with Karlee and her kids, and one of them needed to go to the washroom. So I like to go to fancy hotels to use the washrooms because they're nicer than obviously public washrooms. So we go into this really bougie hotel, the Fairmont Pacific Rim, and Karlee, I don't know what you were trying to take the diaper off because there was no changing table. Yeah. So she went to take the diaper off, but the shit fell out of the diaper and onto the floor of this really bougie bathroom with all these very fancy people. And I had like overwhelm, like extreme overwhelm, and I just pieced out. Like I ran from the bathroom. I couldn't do it. I was like, auntie, out. Like I'm not here for the poopy on the floor. I don't even know how that unfolded, but I bailed. I couldn't handle it.
Karlee, like a true mom, picked it up with her
She
bare
did.
hand.
Did not even phase me.
With her bare raw hand.
She's like,
I don't even remember that. It wasn't even traumatic.
It's not even traumatic to her. It's traumatic to me, not to her. It was just
Tuesday.
It was just another day in the life of Karlee.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah. Or like the time when we were on the phone and her baby had a diaper blowout and she just kept holding him and just stayed on FaceTime with me and she just got shit all over her. And I was like, can you please change your shirt?
It's already here.
It's already there. We'll get to it in
but that's why
moment.
you are truly unsung heroes because I mean, I'm a grown ass woman who like, I have a house cleaner for myself and someone make you feel like I need my own nanny just as one adult human. So to think that you have other people that you're so responsible for, it's just such a beautiful thing.
Oh, it's such a blessing. And their time with you is so short.
Yes, it is.
And it goes by so fast. I remember when my son started kindergarten, my kids are 2 years apart. And when he started kindergarten, he's the oldest. And it was so hard on my daughter and I, because we were used to spending like every minute together every day. And he started at 5 years old and she was 3. So she should have been in preschool. And I think he went 2 days and the two of us just cried waiting for him. So instead of signing up for preschool, I just signed up to volunteer in the kindergarten class. And then I asked if she could come. So she didn't go to preschool. She went to kindergarten with our kindergartner. And I just was like the classroom mom that did all the like laminating and
Here's the best part. Her son literally said to her, Mom, I think you need to find some friends.
True story. But my daughter had so much to prove being 3 years old in the 5-year-old class. She was the star student. She sat in the very front. She sat so tall. She did all the sweeping, all the cleanup. And the teacher always said, why don't we all sit nice like our friend Malia? And, she just...
So basically Karlee and Malia were sitting in the kindergarten class. Yeah. You were there.
And he was so embarrassed. He was like, if my mom just does not get out of here and go find something to do with her friends.
He ended up actually getting a psychiatric evaluation and they said he had separation anxiety.
I was like, no, his mom has sexual separation anxiety.
And now he's 15 and he's like, Mom, can you please take that off my records? And I won't take it off.
She's like, no, you still have separation anxiety.
I know you do. Give me a hug.
Okay. Speaking of separation anxiety, Tiffany, what are you going to do when all these boys get married?
I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna be sad. I'm gonna be sad. Like, I thought about that and I was like, dang, you know what sucks about having boys? Is there's gonna be some woman who's gonna make them feel better than me. Oh. And they're gonna be like, no. You know what, Mom? I don't want to come see you anymore.
No, I don't think that's the way it goes. You know what she's going to do? Your boys are always going to be like, my mom made sandwiches better.
I hope.
For
that's
sure.
My prayer.
For sure.
I get so excited. Like, I don't cook a lot.
You don't got time to cook. I don't got
time. However, on the holidays, I throw down. So I make sure I put my extra love in there because I'm like, I just want to be that mom that my sons are like, I can't wait to get home and get some of my mama's food.
That's Karlee too. That's so funny.
Yeah.
How do you either of you have friends who don't have kids?
I don't really have friends, to be honest. You're my friend without a kid.
Fair.
All my energy goes into these kids. It's not a joke. It's me and them 24/7.
Because I know as someone who doesn't have kids, it's kind of sometimes anxiety inducing, you know, when you go to like visit your friends, like I know like I'll be on the phone with you and kids are screaming in the background and you're like, I need to get off the phone. And you're just like, it's fine. Keep talking. Yeah. Like, no, I can't. I'm going to have an anxiety attack staying on the phone with you. I know that happens to you.
I'm trying to think, I don't really have a lot of close friends anymore that don't have kids because I feel like that's probably how they felt. It was like, I just can't deal with this. But I'm definitely the mom who gets on the phone and is like, is your kid back there dying? I'm like, oh no, he's good.
He's good.
Like, I know the scream.
If he's the youngest,
dramatic.
We know he's good.
He's great.
There's no blood anywhere.
There's nothing going on over here. Continue on, please.
I didn't let my kids cry much because they just kind of fuss a little and I'm like, oh, my baby needs
It's facts.
I carried them always and I fed them always. They're super overweight and they couldn't walk. And
can you overlove your kids? That will be next week's.
But hey, now they're very well adjusted.
Yes.
And they're
she's finally cut the umbilical cord, which is a very special ceremony.
No, we just loosened a bit of the tether, a few extra feet, but I still walk connected. Them to school. And my daughter just turned 13 this month, and on the morning of her 13th birthday, it was a normal morning. I made her breakfast. I went out and I just changed one little thing in the morning. She was getting by the door, and I stepped back a few feet, and I just waited to see if anything would change when she was 13. But then she turns around and goes, "Mom, high shoes?" And I was like, okay, baby.
Mom ties shoes.
Meanwhile, boys, your hand broke? Tie them shoes.
Mom ties shoes. That's so
And then
cute.
my 15-year-old son's like, well, if you're down there tying shoes.
You may as well tie mine too. Oh my goodness.
So
Yeah.
the tether's pretty short. So.
One thing, Tiffany, too, I noticed that when we were at your home, it was really cute. There was a neighbor girl who came by. I was just happened to be outside, and it was really sweet. She was like, I said, what? She said, what are you doing here? And I was like, I'm probably the only white person in the neighborhood. Like, who's this ghost walking around the cul-de-sac? She said, what are you doing here? She's your block neighborhood security, apparently. And I said, oh, I'm just visiting with Tiffany. And she said, are the boys working on a project? And I thought that was so cute that their friends all know that this is something that they do. You know, is everybody just kind of in on it? Like, what? How's
Everybody is in on it. Shout out to our neighbor. I won't mention her name. I love her, though.
She's adorable.
She comes around the house and she scared the mess out of me. The back door doesn't have any blinds.
Oh no!
And I was doing something to the baby, and out the corner of my eye, I seen like a figure, and I was like, "What is that?" And I turned around, she's just standing like a little serial killer, looking at me, and I was like,
"You
hey,
good?
Are you good?" I said, "You scared the mess out of me." "Oh yes, I'm good, Miss Tiffany. I'm just trying to see if the boys are home." I was like, "They're not home right now," but then she comes over sometimes and watches us eat, and that takes me out. I'm just laughing. I'm like, "Do you want to come inside and eat?" She's like, "No, I'm fine. I just want to watch you guys."
Do you think she has a little crushy poo on any of your boys?
I don't know, but I do know those girls do go crazy over those boys.
I'm sure like, they are adorable.
Back up.
Right?
My 5-year-old went to the zoo for a field trip. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to be a school mom, so I'm going to go. So
you're both school moms. That's great.
I was like, I'm going to try to be attentive. So I went to go supervise the kids, and he was going to be in my group. And I said, okay. And he goes to a bilingual school, so he's in the Mandarin track.
Cool. Wow.
And there's this little Asian girl, or Chinese, I'm not sure. She was so sweet. She was like a little doll. Like, she was so cute. And she was just going around, and my youngest is kind of short, so he was like a foot, maybe a foot and a half shorter than her. And she was just holding his hand, and then she kept putting his hand on her back. I know. And that's what, hey, man, say, man, back up off my kids. So then one time he goes to, because he kept wanting to hold my hand, so he goes to reach for my hand, and it was the same hand she was reaching for. So I was like, oh, it's about to be a fight. So
no.
So she goes to grab it, and he grabs my hand. So she's like, oh, she looks like it's okay. She didn't say anything. She goes on the other side of him, puts her arm under his arm, and they walk together. She was super cute, though, because I remember her from last year when they went to the aquarium for a birthday party, and she was there. And I kept going, who is this little girl? Following my son, she kept picking him up and helping him see the exhibits. I was like, oh my God. So
this crush is a long time. This has been a minute. It's a marriage, basically.
Now. It's a marriage.
Wow.
Yeah, it's intense.
That's gonna be the thing when you got such adorable boys.
But people do stop the kids a lot, and they commend them and tell them, oh, we love your YouTube, and they just don't understand the amount of views and people that they reach per month, and just can't fathom. So they're like, oh, Mom, people want to take a picture with us again. I'm like, yes, but you have to respect your fans, because you wouldn't be here and be able to do the things you love if people didn't love the art that you put out. That's what I always tell them. So make sure you're always nice, and, speak to them politely and tell them thank you so much for supporting us. And take your picture and smile. Aww. And don't look like you're about to crap yourself when you're smiling. Smile right.
Smile right. Get those good angles. Get the good light. Don't embarrass the family.
I always tell the kids to do a laughing smile. It looks the most like authentic to just like burst out of
fake laugh.
I try to do that. My kids are like, I'm like, sir, you look like you're either having a stroke or you're taking a poop. Please fix your face.
My goodness.
Try the laughing smile. It works.
So I'm gonna ask you last question. It's Mother's Day. If it's a time, what is the best thing someone could do for you for Mother's Day? With all the things you do for your kids, what would be the thing that someone could do? What's the best thing someone could do for a mom? Like a real thing.
Karlee, don't include them kids.
Yeah.
She's going to say, me and my children.
She'd say, I want to
are they going to pack us a picnic?
Are they going to finger paint for me? No. What is the thing you could really want for Mother's Day? It's like a moment for yourself or something. Like, what's the thing that you would want?
Oh, just stop taking my kids away from me. It's Mother's Day. I would love a meal that we didn't have to cook. That was, you know what I mean? That would be nice.
Yep.
More time with the kids. So we could
Jesus. She's unstoppable.
I want to live inside my kid's skin.
Yeah, she really does. She would if she could, trust me.
We have living room sleepovers.
I love Karlee.
I took Karlee. Okay, Karlee and I went to Vegas one time, and we both flew from separate cities and met in Vegas. And when I landed, I came out of the plane, and she was waiting at my gate, already tears pouring down her face.
Aww.
And I said, Karlee, what's wrong? We're in Las Vegas. This is supposed to be fun. And she said, if my plane crashed, my kids would have no mom. And I was like, that's how we're starting this trip. Like, I can't. I cannot.
Thanks for reminding me. I have a plane ride home.
I'm not gonna lie though, you do have those thoughts. Those thoughts are valid. I'd be like, damn, what if something happens to me while I'm out drinking tonight or out?
Yeah.
What am I supposed to tell my kids? I went out for a drink and never made it home. Like, what is that about?
Right.
Horrible.
So Karlee's only request is somebody else make dinner. That's
I don't put too much weight into Mother's Day. I don't know.
okay. Really?
Yeah.
I do. See, because like it'll be Mother's Day and I'll be like, what did you guys do for your mom? And they're like, nothing. I'm like, figure it out. Like, because I know how good of a mom she is, right? What about you, Tiffany? What could someone do for you for Mother's Day that would just be like, mwah, the thing?
Get me out of here. Get me out this loony house.
Where are you going? Where are you going?
I would love to do like a little mini vacation.
Uh-huh.
I used to be like Karlee. I love
She's
Karlee.
like, that's cute.
It is. And then I was just so overloaded, overwhelmed. I was like, baby, I got to get out here before I get out of here.
Yeah.
So taking me like a vacation would be nice.
So just you and your man?
Yeah, like
or you
me
and your
my
girlfriends?
man, or maybe just leave my man with the kids. Let's be honest, having a man is like having another kid. But we're gonna have that for another conversation.
Oh, I know, because I feel like I've raised plenty of men myself. Yeah, of course.
I know. You've been a mother before. Happy Mother's Day.
Either that
There
or
were some young ones.
either that or I would say that like I've been like I have World Vision like children around the world that were just men that I happen to be dating. I've been sponsoring men around the world.
So yeah, I would like to do a little tropical vacation, a little beach.
Love
Yeah,
that.
but you know who loves beaches?
Not these kids.
She's like, I don't care who likes these beaches.
I
I'm going by
don't give a
myself.
damn. Who likes the beach?
Beach memories without the kids.
No, we went to the beach one time with the kids. I will say that's probably like our best trip. They still talk about that beach trip.
Oh.
They're at pictures. I mean, they're at school drawing pictures about the beach trip. I'm like, sir, that was like almost 3 years ago. They're like, it was the best time ever. Meanwhile, I was on the beach about to have a stroke because he was in the water with the kids, and all I could imagine, acting like Karlee, was the tide was gonna grab a child, and that was gonna be the end of it. Because you know, the tide, they like start going out, and in my mind, there's like an invisible line in the ocean where it's like you're safe.
Nothing comes back.
And then next thing you just drop off and there's like no warning. And I was like, what if they get right there and they drop off and then like they go out and then like I start losing them all in the water. What am I gonna do? I was like, get back to the shore. Only stay with your ankles in. I was like, Mom, we're trying to have fun. I don't care.
To lose my babies.
I'm about to lose my kid.
You know, I had almost a situation when I was pregnant with my first. We went to Costa Rica, and I was quite pregnant. And I went out and I waded like up to my knees, and there was all these signs like, oh, rip current. And I was like, I'm up to my knees. Come on, you know, I can handle it. But my balance was off because I was pregnant.
Yeah.
And it just took my feet right out from under me, and I was just rolling in the current, and I was wearing this little bikini, and I lost my bikini completely, and I couldn't get my bearings. I didn't know which way was up, so I'm just dragging my hands trying to find the ground and the sand. And I finally just grabbed onto the ground and crawled like onto the beach, and I'm screaming and I'm crying. I thought I lost my baby, and I was like losing my mind. And everyone on the beach is just calm and looking at me like, the fuck, you're like a foot of water. And nobody felt sorry for me. And
You're in a foot of water.
Karlee, were you even drowning?
I thought I almost died and killed my baby. It was one of the hardest moments of my life. And yeah, zero sympathy. But I survived. I had a towel to wear home. So.
What more do you need? Me being the auntie not knowing anything about raising kids, I invited Karlee and her 2 kids to Paris.
Lovely.
With 2 strollers, 2 kids in diapers. And Carly's like, are you sure you want to do this? And I was like, yeah, we got this. And then now you're like bumping along the cobblestone roads, like all this. I had no idea what I was in
Kids
for.
are screaming.
They're
throwing snacks on the
I've
ground.
spent half an hour with them. I give it.
Actually, we got to customs and something had gone wrong and the lineup was really long and her son Emmett had to pee really bad and there was no getting out of this line. He was 4. He had to pee so bad there was no getting out of the line. And I was like, tell him to piss into a diaper. He's like, Auntie, I'm not peeing into the diaper. Anyways, you know, I can't help it. I'm just out here and I'm trying my best.
Try my best, Tom.
Exactly. So, Tiffany, where do people find you? I know I could say it, but you could do it best. Where are the best places for people to find you? And your fabulous family.
Oh, thank you. So all my handles not all my handles, I lied. Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok is Tiffany La'Ryn. That's Laryn. And then on Facebook is Tiffany La'Ryn TV.
We'll put all the links everywhere so everybody can find you easily. And I hope they do because you are just absolutely priceless. You're the best. And I love all these adventures that you're on with your family. And Karlee, where can people find you?
Right here.
Right here.
If you're watching the podcast, I'm behind.
Karlee will forever be hopefully by my side behind the scenes on Big Lash Energy. Ladies, thank you so much for being here and talking about mom stuff.
Oh, thank you for having us.
Yeah, I appreciate you. And happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day to you.
Yeah.
Honoring mom.
No, you know
All
what?
the men you bring.
I gotta say, one of my ultimate pet peeves on Mother's Day is, for one, people tell me Happy Mother's Day to a dog mom, and I was like, this is not my holiday. And the other thing is when people say Happy Mother's Day, they'll be like, they do this all-inclusive Mother's Day thing where they go, Happy Mother's Day to the moms who wish they were moms, the dads who identify as moms, the moms who are dead, the dad. And I'm like, just say Happy Mother's Day to your mom. That's it. That's all you gotta do. Not all the moms. So, anyways, Happy Mother's Day to both of you. You deserve it. You're amazing, incredible humans. You deserve cake. You deserve capes. You deserve a dinner made by somebody else. Somebody's got to take you to a beach.
Somebody take me to
somebody take her.
I'll come.
DM me. No, I'm joking.
Thank you so much, ladies.
Thank you.
Goodbye.